Hustle culture is just really getting out of hand. People selling courses, and I keep bringing up the Wes Watson guy. He is just god awful. It's got to be an act. I mean, nobody is that douchey. Nobody's that douchey. He is really giving guys that go to the gym, guys with tattoos, guys with nice cars, a bad image. I mean, he is just, you have to be somewhat humble. I mean, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about why you don't need a flashy car to pick up girls or really to impress anybody. You don't need a flashy car, you don't need a luxury car, you don't need a supercar, you don't need a sports car, you don't need a big flashy truck. All that you need is something that's clean, that has good paint, that runs well, that's been serviced well. That's all that you need, man. I don't care what anybody, oh, we got something in the road here. What is that? Just like a big piece of paper. See if we can make the light. We're probably not. Yeah, we're not gonna make the light, but that's okay. You're never gonna impress everybody. Even if you have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, there's gonna be somebody out there that is gonna hate on you. A lot of people might hate on you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and buy a nice car, buy your dream car, but make sure that you're doing it for you and for nobody else. Definitely not for a woman. Women don't care. Women do not care as long as your car is clean. Let me rephrase. Good women are not going to care. They just are going to want to see you drive something that's clean, that's safe, that's responsible, that looks good. And how much money do you have to spend on a car to have something like that? Do you have to spend $75,000? $40,000 even? No. I mean, $15,000, $20,000 is all that you need to spend on a car. $15,000. It's not brand new, something that's used, that's been well taken care of. A lot of people bash the Honda Accords, like what I'm driving, and the Toyota Camrys as being boring utilitarian cars. But they can look great if you keep them clean. So a lot of it just comes down to doing the maintenance on your car, keeping your car clean. That's what's going to leave a good impression. You get into a nice clean car, it smells good, the leather smells good, the paint has been corrected, there are no nasty scratches, swirl marks. There isn't gunk all over the place. Having a clean car will leave a good impression. And I'm telling you, that's all you really need. Don't listen to these influencers, these Wes Watsons, these, Andrew Tates. And I will say, I like a lot of the stuff Tate says. I don't agree with him on everything. And a lot of those guys are just rage baiting and they just say whatever just to get the engagement that they need. But we're not going to get into that. But my point is, you don't need to be this flashy dude that's just wearing logos everywhere, that has the flashiest car, that has the wheels. And if you like that style, cool. Nothing wrong with it. But do it for you. Don't do it for the women, because they're not going to care, man. They just are not going to care. Unless you're in Miami or LA. But still, that new money culture thing is not... The good women out there that have money or that are from money are not going to like that type of guy. You're just going to pick up the skeezers, that might have a BBL or a bunch of fake body parts. But the good women out there, the natural beauties, the women that look good when they wake up in the morning, they're not going to care, man. They just want a guy that looks good, that takes care of himself. We've got some roadkill. Looks good, takes care of himself, dresses well, but doesn't overdo it, doesn't take himself too seriously. Is on a fitness routine. Taking care of yourself, taking care of your body is going to do much more than a car ever will. Having a nice car is just going to pick up a lot of dudes. It's going to pick up a lot of dudes. Having a nice car is going to pick up a lot of dudes. Little boys are going to love you, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we were all little boys at one time, and it was really cool, especially when I was a kid, to see a cool car, sports car, exotic car, because I mean, they just we just didn't have nearly as many of them back in the 80s and in the 90s as we do today, especially in Southern Maryland. In Miami, yeah, you had those cars in Miami and in LA. But I am telling you, put the work into yourself. I'm a huge car geek. Those of you that don't know me, I'm a huge car geek. I love wild cars, crazy cars, Koenigsegg's, Bugattis. I love all that stuff. So I love all these crazy cars, but I love them for me. I would still want a crazy sports car or even just a Porsche 911. And look, I love my 350Z. I would still want a cool car for me, even if I was the last person on earth. I would want it just as much. If you're buying it just for other people, then I just don't think that's a good reason to justify the money on an exotic car. Buy what you like, obviously. I'm not saying that everybody should be driving a Ford F-150, a Honda Accord, or a Toyota Camry. No, not at all. You have to buy what you want for you. Look, if you have a nice car and it's dirty all the time, you see these guys driving BMW 3 Series, 5 Series, Mercedes C-Class, S-Classes even, and they're filthy, they're dirty, that's disgusting. I mean, that's not a good look. You're better off having a normal car and keeping it clean. I'm telling you, a clean car goes a long way. It shows that you take pride in yourself and what you have. And that means a lot. If you want people to respect you, it comes down to confidence, not cockiness. Again, like the Wes Watson guy and the Andrew Tates, a lot of them are really cocky. And a lot of women don't like that. They might like the materialism, like the skeezers I was telling you about, will like the materialism. But, geez, we got all types of stuff on the road today. I'm trying to film. We got a big tractor, which you guys can't see is off camera. But, yeah, a lot of stuff on the road today. People swerving. It's a beautiful day, though, and summer is here. Summer has unofficially started. It is May 30th. Yeah, May 30th today. Most women will be more impressed with the clean car than a flashy car. I cannot state that enough. Not that there aren't girls that don't love and appreciate cool cars, sports cars, exotic cars. There are plenty of them. But, and here's the thing, here's another thing. It needs to be about you still. You take away the material possessions, if you take away the nice car, the flashy jewelry, and nobody wants to be around you, then that's saying something. You need to be able to attract people without any of that stuff. And if you can do that with a normal car, wearing normal clothes, if people want to be around you for you, and you know that, there's a lot of value there. Because you know, look, people are not after me for what I have and for my money. They like me for me. That is important. And I'm just sick of the hustle culture. Hustle culture is just really getting out of hand. People selling courses. And I keep bringing up the Wes Watson guy. He is just god awful. He is just, it's got to be an act. I mean, nobody is that douchey. Nobody's that douchey. He is really giving guys that go to the gym, guys with tattoos, guys with nice cars, a bad image. I mean, he is just, you have to be somewhat humble. I mean, there's a Fresh and Fit podcast. They did some group event where Wes Watson went nuts on this other guy, and the other guy just totally dismantled him. I'm not going to get into details, but check it out. It was really good. And this hustle culture, these guys are like getting rich off selling courses how to get rich, buying flashy cars. It's like they're copying Ric Flair. And Ric Flair did it right. He did it right. In my lifetime anyway, he was the first one that really was flashy. Look at me, look what I got. I've got these $800 pants. I've got Rolex watch. You know, Ric Flair was the master of that. And hip hop started doing it in the 90s. We saw it a lot. And then now these guys that sell courses are doing it. It's the red pill guys telling you how to get women. And a lot of them are just bitter and mean. I'm not saying that that there isn't good information out there. And some of those guys do have good things to say. I mean, there's always some good to be found even within the bad. But, I mean, they act like all women are exactly the same, and they're not. Not everything is about money. Another thing that I've noticed about a lot of the flashy guys and the red pill guys is that none of them seem to have a good sense of humor. They don't understand how important having a good sense of humor is to attracting women. It is huge. It's huge, man. A good sense of humor goes a long, long way. How you respond to criticism. Somebody says, why are you driving a boring Honda like that? Well, I like my car. It's 20 years old. It's in excellent shape. It's been garage kept. All the maintenance has been done, and it gets me around. It never breaks down. That's important to me. Say good things about your car. You don't have to bash other people's cars. You don't have to talk about money, because when you start talking about money, then that can imply certain things. You know, deflect it, kill them with kindness. I love my car, man. I'm happy with it. It gets me around. It does what I want it to do, and to me, that is what is important. Come on, guys, tell me I'm wrong. It's more important to have a car that's clean and reliable than it is to have a flashy car, right? I mean, that is important. And look, you should have both. If you want to have both, if you want to have both, go out and get both. Have your daily driver and have your flashy sports car, obviously. Hell, get 2 or 3 sports cars, man. I'm all for it. I love nice cars. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I just want to remind you that do it for you. Do it for you and not for anybody else. Not because some guru, hustle culture, prison guy says the only thing to life is having 20-inch arms, 1 million tattoos, being the hardest, baddest, toughest guy in the world. Don't do it for some silly hustle culture guy on the internet, that's for sure. Because they're not going to like you anyway. They're just going to take your money, or they're going to overcharge you for a shitty course, take your money, and then laugh at you or scam you. And if you're looking at luxury cars, or any car for that matter, look beyond the badge. Like, okay, this is a Mercedes, but why do I want this Mercedes? Is it just because it's a Mercedes, or do I want it for the German engineering, for the detail and the craftsmanship, the fit and the finish, the incredible motors that AMG builds, the performance that comes with it, the customer service that you get in the dealership? Is that important to you, or do you just want an image, or do you just want to impress somebody that you know that likes those cars? It's important to make those distinctions. Really, cars do not impress anybody, except for car geeks and boys. Just don't get an electric car. I had to fit that in there somewhere. Electric cars are just, I did see a Cybertruck today. From certain angles, it's pretty wild. From other angles, it's atrocious. What do you guys think? How much money should you spend on a daily driver? Some of you are going to say $10,000. Some of you might say $7,000 if you're handy and you can work on your car yourself if you're mechanically inclined. Some of you might say 7 or less. Some of you might say 50. You're too good to drive anything. 60,000. Oh, I only have to drive a new car. It has to be German, and it can only have X amount of miles on it before I get rid of it. And look, if you're a multimillionaire, okay, that's fine. Or if that's your passion and you can afford to do it, that's fine too. You know, even if you're not a multimillionaire. I'm not going to judge you like that. What do you guys think? Daily driver, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, German, American, Japanese? Comment below. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.